Hey, welcome to your Sagittarius horoscopes for the week of the 17th through the 23rd. And a lot of really awesome Sagittarians that I love, like a lot, have birthdays this week. Like my wonderful mentor and second mother, Mama Sherry, has a birthday this week. Happy birthday, Sherry. Also, this fantastic lady that I absolutely adore, who really teaches courses on working with the angels and really does work very closely with her angels. My good friend Peg, happy birthday to you this week as well. Cannot forget this other fantastic lady, Amanda, who is just fabulous. I love her so much. And my website looks spectacular thanks to this lady, although that's not exactly what she does. She does so much more than that. And I hope that you have a fantastic birthday also this week. And of course, I can't forget my good friend Benny Boo 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 Bear. Gosh, we've known each other forever now, huh? Like forever. It's just crazy. Um, it's crazy. Okay. It's just crazy how many years have gone by and it doesn't feel like that at all. But I hope you have a fantastic birthday. I love you all to bits. You guys are awesome. Seriously, I love my Sagittarian friends. Sagittarians are literally the most fun people to ever walk the face of the planet. But that is my personal opinion, which I'm sure all of you will agree with being Sagittarians, because most people who are watching this video are Sagittarians. And we're ending Sagittarius season this week. We actually have a lot going on this week because, of course, Mercury is retrograde. At the beginning of the week, that is a Capricorn problem. But by the end of the week, it becomes a Sagittarius problem as these retrogrades are moving into fire influence retrograde. So this one here, it starts off in Capricorn. By the end of this week, Mercury, we're ending the week with Mercury at 29 degrees Sagittarius. So it is going to happen at the end of the week. We are also ending Sagittarius season this week as the sun moves into Capricorn because it's solstice week. And we kick off winter in the northern hemisphere, summer if you're in the southern hemisphere. I'm telling you, it's a very busy week. And we still have Mars in Sagittarius for a couple of more weeks, actually. And Mars lining up in various different ways. Some that are helpful, but the big thing is Mars square with Neptune, because Neptune is in Pisces. It's another mutable sign. Um, Sagittarius's focus is on long-term goals. Absolutely beautiful focus for you to be in. But with Mars in a square with Neptune, Neptune's focus being on inner trauma, it's really going to showcase just how much those old thought processes are dampening your energy going towards your long-term goals. Think about it. Nobody can talk you out of doing something amazing faster than you can, right? Although I do happen to know a couple of Sagittarians that do like to point the finger at everybody else. Is the reason why they're not achieving their goals. That's also part of that process as well, because, we're never going to take the blame for our own mess, right? Even though we should, honestly. The sooner we take the blame for our own mess, the better. That means that we have control over it. When we're pointing the finger at other people, we are handing over that control to those other people. Therefore, we're never going to fix the problem. That's what that means, right? So, Mars square here is an opportunity for you to release some of those old hangups, those old mindsets that are keeping you stuck where you are. And because Mars is at the helm of this energy, this is going to cause a lot of frustration and a lot of aggression and a whole lot of Even in some cases, um, it may cause resentment towards other people, but really it has nothing to do with anybody else. Even if the trauma was caused by another individual, healing is about acceptance and love for yourself and disconnecting from what other people did to you. So if you're not in that space where you're disconnecting from that, you're not healed yet. You're still allowing this one little thing to rule your decisions. And it happens in the weirdest way. Sometimes we don't even realize that it's happening. Like one of the best examples I can give is several years ago, actually, it was like over 10 years ago now, and I was like really, really sick. And I was trying to find clothes to put on for an event that didn't look like bag lady clothes. Because when I say I got really, really sick, I lost like an incredible amount of weight in a very short amount of time. And so all of my clothes were just yards and yards and yards too big. And I was really fussing over it. My husband was trying to be helpful and he's, pulling these clothes out and he's like, "What about this? You haven't worn this in a while." And mind you, I was a size zero. Okay. That's how much weight I had lost. No, it's not fun to get that skinny for no reason, no matter what anybody says, okay? And, he says, "What about this fabulous shirt? You haven't worn this shirt in forever. And look at how sparkly it is. It looks great." And I just, without even thinking, it just came out of my mouth. I said, "No, I can't wear that shirt. I'll look fat in it." Just, psh. And then I realized what I said. And I looked up and my husband was like, "This is absolutely nothing that you could wear that's gonna make you look fat, except maybe like a fat suit or something." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's so weird. Like, where did that come from?" And I went into my mind, into all the little files that are in there, and it went do 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 do, and it picked out the file of something that occurred back in like 1989, 90, something like that, when the man responsible for that mindset pinched this little bit of skin that I had on my belly when I was 13 years old and said, "You better watch that because you don't want to get fat like your mom." Right. And that whole, not only did I hold on to that for years, that I don't want to get fat like my mom is overweight, by the way. Not only did I hold on to that for years, but I also realized that in that moment when it came out that I was trying so hard to put on weight at that point, and that mentality was actually getting in the way of me being able to do that. Because trust me when I say when you go from a size 12 to a size 0, it's not pleasant, okay? Especially if you've had some children, it's not pleasant. And, when you're used to looking like a woman and having curves, those go away all of a sudden when you get really, really, really skinny, okay? So just be careful what you wish for. That's all I can say about that. Bottom line is that moment allowed me to release that. First of all, he had no control over my weight anymore. I wasn't going to allow that. I was not going to obsess over my weight anymore, whether it was not enough weight or too much weight. It didn't matter. I released that whole fear of quote unquote being fat like my mom. And it wasn't something that I came up with either. It was something that was programmed into me. And that's exactly the kind of stuff that I'm talking about here. You may not even realize the influence that it has over you until boom, it just pops out of your mouth one day and you go, "Well, that's weird. Where did that come from?" But when that does happen, it's always a good idea to sit with it and evaluate it to determine where it came from, why it happened, and whether or not you need to carry that with you anymore. Because the truth is, chances are you probably don't. It's probably run its course and doesn't need to be there anymore. And if it's preventing you from achieving any of your long term goals, guess what? It's not helping you. It's not helping you. We'll put it that way. So, with that being said, yes, Mars energy is really trying to help you get those goals going. Get yourself going in the direction that you want to go instead of kind of sort of being pulled in many different directions or even overextending yourself in many different directions. And while slowing down and focusing on one thing at a time isn't exactly Sagittarius's forte, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be that way either. Let's take a look at that Mercury retrograde for just a moment. As it comes into your sign at the end of the week, it comes into your sign in a grand sextile with Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn's placement is also an inner trauma, specifically pointing towards your responsibility for that trauma. Now, granted, I've talked to a lot of people, and every single one of them says the same thing. I'm not responsible for my trauma. I didn't cause my trauma. Most of the time, that's true. You are responsible for whether or not you choose to hold on to that, though. You are responsible for the hole that's burning in your stomach because you continue to be angry about something that happened 30 years ago, or to let that something that happened 30 years ago influence the decisions that you make now when that person isn't even here anymore. So this is why Saturn is so important in this, because it is your responsibility to heal yourself, not somebody else's responsibility. It's never somebody else's responsibility. Jupiter, on the other hand, is focused on self. And Jupiter's focus on self is really, and the expansion of Jupiter's focus on self is basically showing you this is your ruling planet here, okay? The Mercury retrograde, schmetrograde, right? No excuse. Put the bags of excuses away. You can achieve your goals. All it takes is a little bit of focus. All it takes is you being responsible for your own stuff, and you can change into whatever you want to change into. You can accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. It all comes down to you. Most of the Sagittarians that I've met in my life, granted, that person that caused my "you don't want to get fat and like your mom" thing was actually a Sagittarius, probably the worst human being I've ever known in my entire life, and he was a Sagittarius. But all of the other ones were pretty awesome. I have to say, I love my Sagittarius friends. I really do. Anybody, every sign has its good points and its bad points. But the point is that it's a waste of that absolutely fantastic energy, the mental energy, the physical energy, the emotional energy that you guys put into every single thing that you do. It is a waste to not put that towards your success, towards your goals. And especially those that keep saying they're putting it off because they need to be present for other people. You are being unfair to them by giving them that responsibility, especially when they're not asking for it. Just saying. So Mercury retrograde can work in your favor. And actually, it can work in your favor the most. Mercury is all about communication. Take that communication away, silence yourself, and listen. You may learn something. You never know. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation to my coffee link, which is there in the description of the video. I really appreciate that. There's another link in the description of the video. Also, I'm currently doing a 25% discount for hour-long readings for anybody that wants to connect with their loved ones in spirit, take a sneak peek at what's going on in 2024, need help cementing what you need for those goals, whatever it is, that's what the readings are for. Simply take note of the promo code that's there next to the link. Click on the link, book your time, pick your time, book your time, put the promo code in there, and boom, you've got your 25% discount, which you can use over and over and over again until the 31st of the month. And then the promo is over. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. And you guys, oh man, if I can just see what you guys can accomplish if you just get out of your own way. And I am excited to see what that is, because I know that you can do it. So that's what I have. I'll see you guys next week. You guys make it a great week.